60 Minutes interview with Stormy Daniels, the adult film star who says she had an affair with Donald Trump, will be broadcast this Sunday on WCCO.
Daniels talks to Anderson Cooper in the first and only television interview in which she speaks out about the alleged relationship.
I guess I'm not 100% sure on why you're doing this.
Not the first time Stormy Daniels has been asked that question. Why are you doing this interview? Why are you sleeping with Donald Trump? Why are you an adult film star actress? So many questions for Stormy.
Isn't that really the question, though? Why is she doing this?
Yeah, why
is
she?
The game?
So that's the question, right? She passed a lie detector test. Said she slept with Donald Trump. Frankly, I don't know that has the president denied it.
I think he did deny. He did deny.
He denied it,
Yeah.
which
He
is
did. Okay.
it's what you do,
Sure.
right? It would be something else if he had said like, "Yep, did it."
But he has admitted to other extramarital affairs in the
Sure,
past.
which doesn't mean he cheated on Melania. There are several aspects to this. On the one hand, there's just the prurient aspect of it, where you're thinking, here's the man who's the president of the United States now.
Right.
The fact that he may or may not have had an affair, either way, there was a payment, $130,000, months before the general election. If voters knew that in a very close election, do you think it would have made a difference?
I don't in this case. I think
No.
that so many things had already come out about Donald Trump and kind of who he was as a person, and I think that people accepted that and they said, okay, we know what we're getting ourselves into. But
I'm not sure. I wonder if people
so?
thought that there was this idea that the presidency would change him, that he would be
But this
like he
happened.
would rise
This
to the
allegedly
occasion.
happened well before.
Yeah,
This happened well before. It has nothing
Maybe.
to do with him as
Yeah,
a president
yeah.
right now. This is, and I think that the big
But the
question.
payoff happened.
Yes, but what are we going to hear that from Stormy Daniels? Does she know where that money came from?
Yeah, no, I'm sure not. And that is part of the 60 Minutes investigation. And Susan
Right.
Elizabeth, I can't tell if people say they're interested in like where the money came from,
Right.
the legal aspect of it, just to cover up the fact that we're always interested in stories of sex, of infidelity,
Exactly.
powerful
That's
people,
what this is.
porn star. This has all of those elements.
But we're really going to have to see from his hardcore supporters who have supported him all the way along. My guess is they really don't care.
Yeah, I
It'll
think
be
that's
interesting to watch anyway.
I mean, if it turns out that they were using campaign funds, like this could become a legal issue.
Of
Yeah.
course.
But
But we know he has a lot of money, so.
he could have paid for it himself. But if
Sure.
he didn't, that brings up questions. Why?
Yeah.
Did he know? Didn't he? I don't know. There are lots of questions, but most people, I think, are just interested in the steamy aspects.
steamy
of
part.
Well, that's
it.
why they'll be
Sunday
watching
night.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.